I borrowed this Sony A6400 from a friend. This is a very popular camera released in 2019, and today we will try it for macro photography. It's early morning. We are along the Rhone River, which is one of the two biggest rivers in Switzerland. And I can see that there is a lot of insect around me. Maybe let's try first with that plant hopper over there. I have it since a couple of weeks, and I can tell you that it's very similar to my Sony A6700 actually. That camera has a CMOS sensor with an APS-C size. The body doesn't have image stabilization, which it's okay for macro photography, I don't care. The mount is a Sony E mount, so you can put E and EF mounts. It has a tilting screen, so you can see yourself if you want to film yourself. But the resolution is only under 1 million dot. But it's also a touch screen. The viewfinder though is around 2,360,000 dots. The max shutter speed is 1/4000th of a second. It has a mini flash, and that camera can shoot 11 frames per second. In photo mode. It has all the kind of basic stuff that you can expect from that kind of camera, the self-timer, exposure and white balance bracketing, a time-lapse, all that kind of stuff. You can track human eyes, and since the software update 2.0, this camera can also track the eyes of dogs and cats, but only in photo mode. It doesn't work for video. It has also the old mini USB port, the mini HDMI port, mic input, and you can put only the small Sony batteries in that camera. And that the weight is only 403 grams with the battery. So for today I paired that camera with my new flash, the Godox V480C. And this is my homemade flash diffuser. You can find a link in the video description below if you want to know how to make it. And this lens is the 7 Artisan 60mm macro. I forgot to talk about the video specs of this camera, so just a few. You can do 4K 30 frames per second at 100 megabits per second, which is very good for most people. And if you want to do a bit of slow motion, you can do 120 frames per second only in HD, and we will try that right now. So I have a little tripod Ulanzi that I never use, and with this one I can bend the legs like this. So I will try to find something close to the ground. And this is 1080p, 120 frames per second, 5 times slow motion. Usually I test and I make some reviews about gear that I own, and this one I borrowed it from a friend since a few weeks now. And so I changed 3 settings, so now the camera is ready for macro photography. The 3 most important settings for me, for macro. I took some notes here. I turned off the live view display, so when I am in the shade at f14 I can still see my target. And you will find that in the camera icon number 2, page 7. I choose Kelvin 5500 for the white balance, and you can find that in the little icon camera 1, page 11. And also I turned the peaking display on. I turned it to high and red. That's the little icon in the menu camera 1, page 13. There is a lot of tips about macro photography online, on YouTube or elsewhere. But there is one that I don't see very often, and that's my tip for today. You should try to shoot in burst mode for 3 reasons. The first reason is that when you push the shutter button, you may add some vibration to your camera, but the consecutive shot should be okay. The second reason is that among the 5 shots, you may have one with the eye in focus. And the third reason is that if you are into focus stacking, sometimes you may find that there is 1, 2, or 3 photos that could get well together in a stack. Me personally, I shoot probably, I think, between 3 frames per second and 6 frames per second, something like that. Little example, among my shots down here, I found 3 photos where the subject is not moving and is at the same place in the frame. In the photo 1535, the front legs are kind of in focus. In the photo 1536, we have the eyes not really in focus, but that's the best I have. And in the next photo, the focus is at the back of the spider, including a little bit of the abdomen. Remember that it can work, but only if the subject did not move at all. I select the photos, I drag them in my focus stacking tool from Luminar Neo, and I click on Stack. And it works! We have the front legs of the first image, the head of the second image, and a part of the abdomen in focus. Not perfect, but good enough for the example. In this case, Luminar Neo gave me a JPEG, but it's fine, I like that colorful result. What about you? So you know what? I agree with all the people who say that it's a great camera for a budget price, and I understand why. It was a very popular camera, and it's still a very popular camera in 2026. I don't have any problem shooting macro with it.